going to start doing these lives whenever there's something interesting that is happening that I want to give you my opinion on, basically. Um, on this live, first I'm going to do this live, and then I'm going to do another one, which I think a lot of you will want to see as it relates to my pay-per-view main event prediction accuracy, right? This one is basically because I think it was announced on social media like about a few days ago, something like that, that Khamzat Chimaev might potentially, it's a rumor, it's nothing that has been confirmed yet, right? That Khamzat Chimaev might potentially headline UFC 300 with what do you call him, Leon Edwards. And I remember I did a live stream about a few days ago saying that there are possible main events that I had in mind that I was thinking would actually happen. I think I didn't foresee Leon Edwards versus Hamza Chimaev being a possibility purely because Hamza has moved up and because of what happened last time when he was at welterweight. I didn't think they would actually try to book that fight again. But with that being said, I think the fight makes sense. I think if I think a lot of people Khamzat Chimaev at one point was set to fight Leon Edwards. I don't know if I don't know if a lot of people remember that, but Leon Edwards and Khamzat Chimaev. Leon Edwards was one of the first people who accepted a fight with Khamzat Chimaev when a lot of people were still scared of him. Even though a lot of people are still scared of him right now, but Leon Edwards actually accepted a fight, and I think they tried to rebook that fight. I think twice before they just decided to just move on to other fights. Because Leon Edwards ended up getting other opportunities and Hamza Chimaev similarly. So the reason I think that makes sense is not only because of the fact that Leon Edwards and Hamza Chimaev was actually booked before. That's not the only reason. A lot of people were complaining, right? They were like, "Oh my God, has beaten what do you call it? Has beaten three ranked contenders, right? He beat Li Jinglian when he was ranked, I think, about 11. He beat Gilbert Burns when he was ranked about 2 in the welterweight division. He beat Kamaru Usman, who's currently ranked number 1 in the welterweight division. So at this point, I don't think anyone can make the argument that, oh my God, like Hamza Chimaev doesn't deserve this particular opportunity because I think he actually does, based off of the people that he has already beaten. He might not defend that belt. He might get the opportunity to fight for champ status almost immediately, of which I know that people don't like. Even I also don't like it as much. I don't like the fact that people just move up without actually defending their title. People like, for example, O'Malley is trying to actually do that with one title defense that he actually chose for himself. You know, I don't think a lot of people wanted to see that fight, which makes sense why the UFC ended up stacking UFC 299. That's why they stacked that card, because I don't think a lot of people wanted to see that particular fight, so they had to make sure that they put people like Poirier on that card and make sure that we want to see that particular card, not because of Sean O'Malley, but because it's stacked. So back to what I was saying about Hamza Chimaev. In the case of Hamza Chimaev, I understand only because I feel like he's big, right? And the UFC has been promising him opportunities for a title. I remember, like, it's been years, they've been saying, since he fought Gilbert Burns, when he was fighting Gilbert Burns, they said it might be for a championship opportunity. And then towards the fight, they were like, no, whoever wins this fight is going to fight Colby. We all know that Colby chickened out at this point. And then it was okay. Hamza Chimaev, after he fights Nate Diaz or whatever the case is, he's going to get a title shot against Israel Adesanya. Unfortunately, Israel Adesanya ended up losing the belt to Alex Pereira. And then even before Kamaru Usman lost the belt, they told him, okay, Hamza Chimaev is going to get the next opportunity against Kamaru Usman. And then Kamaru Usman lost the belt. So it was disappointment after disappointment for him. So, and now they promised him a shot. I think everyone knew that. They heard that it was announced, that it was promoted. It was part of the promotion of the fight between him and Kamaru Usman for UFC 294. Yeah, I think it was UFC 294. So that was part of the promotion of of that particular fight. Khamzat Chimaev deserves a title shot because he's the most dominant fighter. Yeah, I also agree that Khamzat Chimaev actually deserves it. But now it's perfect because no one can dispute him getting a title shot, because now it's at welterweight. It's no longer at, what do you call it? It's no longer at middleweight, because a lot of people, I get, that's what they were crying about. They were like, no, he hasn't fought anyone. Who has he beaten at welterweight, at middleweight? So now people cannot complain because Alex Pereira got the same opportunity with 3 fights and one ranked opponent at middleweight. So the only ranked fighter before he got a title shot that Alex Pereira fought was, what do you call him, Sean Strickland. Other than that, he didn't fight any other ranked opponents. So Khamzat Chimaev actually fought 3 ranked opponents: number 11, number 2, and number 1. So I think at welterweight, no one can actually disagree with the fact that Khamzat Chimaev actually deserves this opportunity. I think it's an exciting opportunity. I think I explained that on my other stream, the stream that I made where I was trying to guess who the main event for UFC 300 is going to be. I actually gave my reasons for why I think they're going to push Khamzat Chimaev. Khamzat Chimaev is one of the very few fighters who have insane social media numbers. And it's not just social media following. A lot of fighters can have like a good, what do you call it, Instagram following or TikTok or whatever. But when it comes to actually promoting a fight, or when it comes to fights themselves, the numbers are not that great. Just go back and watch Khamzat Chimaev's fights. They do incredible numbers. I think what the UFC is doing right now is that they promote fights by, obviously I think everyone knows this, they promote fights by posting fights of the previous fights of the people who are going to be fighting, right? That's what they do. So I didn't realize that once the pay-per-view has passed, they remove those fights. The reason I say this was because at one point, Khamzat Chimaev versus Gilbert Burns on UFC's YouTube channel was behind Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz. Remember when Khamzat Chimaev was supposed to fight Nate Diaz? They posted first Conor McGregor's fight versus Nate Diaz, and then they posted Khamzat Chimaev versus Gilbert Burns. Those fights did insane numbers, man. Like, I think in a couple of weeks, they were approaching like 20 million, both of them. I think Conor McGregor was like a million away from Khamzat Chimaev. So the dude like is legit a superstar at this particular point in time. That's why the UFC pays him so much, because I think Khamzat Chimaev already makes over $1 million, which is crazy for someone who's never held the belt before. Obviously, there are people like Dustin Poirier who have never held the belt, but at the very least, he's held the interim belt. He's fought Conor McGregor, so it's understandable why he gets that amount of money, because like he's had a touch of star power. Brody, fighters usually have nothing to do with the backroom deals. It's the judges, and it's becoming more obvious lately. Strickland's fight is a good example of backroom deals with judges. I don't understand what you mean, Brody, because I feel like, I don't know, the backroom deals with judges. I don't really think I agree with that, but maybe if you elaborate a little bit on that. I don't know what you mean by that. But back to what I was saying, I feel like Khamzat Chimaev, because he's already a star, and we know how UFC feels about people who are popular. And I don't think Khamzat Chimaev is just popular in the Middle East. I think he's popular almost virtually everywhere. So because of that, that's why at the beginning of the stream I said that there's a high possibility that the UFC is probably going to not let him defend the belt because of how difficult it is for him to make the weight at welterweight. They might just let him get the belt at UFC 300, and before the year ends, I can guarantee you that after, and I believe that Khamzat Chimaev is going to beat Leon Edwards. After he beats Leon Edwards, I think they are going to give him whoever is the middleweight champion at that point. I think maybe Israel Adesanya is going to get the opportunity to fight Dricus du Plessis first, and then whoever has the belt at that particular point in time will probably end the year um, by fighting Hamza Chimaev. So yeah, that's basically my thoughts on that. I'm going to do another stream right now because there's something I realized and I didn't even see it until I was looking at my channel from the beginning. That's how accurate my pay-per-view predictions have been. Like it's insane. It's insane. Like so I don't want to mix them up. So I'm going to end the stream and then I'm going to start a different stream whereby I'm going to talk about this particular prediction